Yo, right here in the small box. Oh my God. By the way, my God. Okay, let's just start there. Anyway, listen, let's go ahead and get started. Let's lock in. I'm a little far from the camera, so I can't really get in y'all face like that, but I'm gonna do what I need to do, all right? Let's go ahead and make it happen. Oh, you. God damn, I'm really like stretching right now. You, right here in the small box, right here in the small box. Welcome back to Flex Mob Reactions, only on the Flex Mob Network. I'm Flex, welcome back to the channel. GNX Producers Share Details. Over 100 songs remain sealed. Damn. Okay, you know what? Not a deluxe. I need an album. Me personally. I need an album, okay? 2026, I want to expect some music from Kendrick. You know? But enough of that. I want to hear what's going on. Let's get to the mess. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what's about the reaction. Hit that notification bell so you get notified when I drop my videos or when I'm live, like right now. And let's get started.
As Kendrick continues to kick off his tour with GNX, it looks like the producers involved with the album have spoke with Variety. Looks like they were able to speak to the producers that worked on the album, ask them a few questions. We have Soundwave, Jack Antonoff, and Mustard. Perspectives from 3 of the producers that worked on the album. They give us some good insight about the album. And right on time before Kendrick Lamar's tour kicks back up. So let's go ahead and take a look and see exactly what they said in regards to GNX, because for what I'm hearing...
Yo, quickie, don't get me started on bodies. Don't get me started on bodies, okay?
GNX has existed longer than we thought. Says here that Jack Antonoff, Mustard, and Soundwave reflect on the years-long production process for Kendrick Lamar's GNX. We developed our own thing. The trio has been collectively named Variety Hitmakers Producers of the Year. The musicians speak on how they approach crafting the massive hit records on Lamar's 6th album. In November 2024, Kendrick Lamar's 6th album, GNX, arrived as big records often do these days, with little warning other than a teaser video that dropped less than an hour before the surprise release. But for those under the rapper's cone of silence, for the past 3 years, GNX was a culmination of hard work and collaboration that met the moment head on. Lamar, fresh from arguably the most profiled beef in hip-hop history, the one with Drake that reached a fever pitch last year, delivered an album that invoked the sounds of West Coast rap music while re-entering the national spotlight on his native Compton. The reaction was nothing short of rapturous. He has secured 9 Grammy nominations for 2026, including Album of the Year and Song and Record of the Year, and performed at the Super Bowl last February, taking a victory lap on the biggest stage in the world. And that is crazy. They just said that they've been working on this album for 3 years, which is crazy because of all the lyrics that have been used, all the lyrics that have been said. It's hard to tell what has been out for a long time and what was just made, because I think timestamps on the records that we're listening to matter, especially because of how well most of the lyrics from GNX have aged. From the things that I've heard in this album, it's almost like if he made this album recently. My initial perspective was that he made GNX after the beef. Lamar, of course, couldn't have done it without his musical hive mind, primarily Soundwave, Jack Antonoff, and Mustard, who are collectively being honored as Variety Hitmakers Producers of the Year. Each has had stellar runs as titans in different corners of music. Soundwave has been...
All right, let me speak about the content matter in GNX real quick. There's 2 ways that you can see it. So the first way is, of course, Kendrick is a prophet. He's not to be played with. He really be seeing into the future like Raven Simone off That's So Raven. That's the first way to see it. The other way to see it is a more realistic way, talking about how he probably added or switched up some of the verses in some of the songs. So, you know, he can throw his little jabs in there, you know? Them little hidden jabs. So, those are the 2 ways I see it, but I find it interesting that they were actually working on this for 3 years. That's the part that's crazy to me. Because I want to make sure, see, this is why I'm not on Twitter. I hate Twitter. Let me make that clear right now. I hate Twitter. But I see what be going on Twitter based on other people's YouTube channels. Yo, there's some fans out there that are talking crazy. When I hear things like this, shut up. You understand? Shut up. And yo, listen, yo, Drake fans, I need y'all to hear me and hear me well, please. Y'all gotta stop talking about Kendrick, bro. It's not helping y'all. The more y'all talk about dude, is the more dumb y'all look. Just stop it. If you want to invest time into your favorite artist, just do that. But just keep Kendrick's name out of your goddamn mouth because it's not helping you. It's not helping you in any kind of way. You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. If you can't do that, that's on you. That's on you, but you gotta let it go, bro. Stop talking about dude. Let it go and tell y'all Godfather, DJ Academics, to do the same thing because it's not helping nobody. You're making yourself look dumb. Go talk about some females and talk bad about them. Make yourself look stupid. Do that. Just don't come back over here no more. It's not going to help you. Damn.
And Lamar's most consistent production collaborator since 2009 and contributed to records from Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Antonov only recently came into Kendrick Lamar's orbit, but has become Pop's go-to collaborator on albums from Sabrina Carpenter, Lana Del Rey. Mustard brought the sound of contemporary LA hip-hop to records like Lamar's Not Like
Yo, Quickie, can it not be interesting to me, bro? Can it not be interesting to me, bro?
Us and TV Off after years of architecting the style and artists like YG and Ty Dolla $ign. So Mustard, as we know, is the person that had the real big West Coast influence in his sound. And of course, we have Soundwave, been around since the very beginning, has done songs for all of TDE, Kendrick Lamar, Black Hippie, one of the OG producers from TDE. Soundwave always knows what he's doing, and his sound has always been universal to me. And as far as Jack goes, bro, as far as I know, 616 in LA is probably the best song that he's created during the time of the battle and throughout everything else that he's helped Kendrick with. I think he's also helped him with Luther, if I'm not mistaken. But I like 616 in LA better. That's just me. I like the rap songs more. Together, they helped craft one of the most singular and impactful rap albums in years. Work on GNX began almost immediately after the release of Lamar's 2022 album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, with the rapper collaborating.
The most slept on album in all of music history. No ifs, ands, or buts no more. The way that I keep running back to that album and it continues to get better and better and better. That is hands down the most slept on album. And the reason why that album is so slept on is because not everybody has grown up yet. When you have grown, not necessarily aged, we're talking up here in your mind. When you have grown mentally, this album is going to make you shed tears that you never thought of shedding before in your life. Let's make that clear right now. Hands down. If you have your hand up, put it down. I don't want to see it right now. Okay? The most slept on album in all of rap history. That's my opinion. I'm sorry.
Closely with Soundwave and Antonov, a pair who first connected around 2015 for Bleacher's sophomore album, Gone Now. We have such a specific language between us, me and Soundwave, says Antonov, and then we developed our own thing, the three of us. You have it or you don't with people. When you have it, it's really magical. When you don't, you go home. Now, I think what's interesting about this is because in the other paragraph, it said that Soundwave had did something with Taylor Swift and Beyonce. Antonov works close with Taylor Swift, so I could see them being producers that worked with the same artists and getting connected that way.
Yo, speaking of Beyonce, why Beyonce and Brandy beefing? Yo, hot take. Brandy's a better singer than Beyonce. I said it. Brandy is a better singer than Beyonce. I said it.
And then building a relationship in where they're able to make beats together or probably work together, network. And then later on comes Kendrick Lamar. It kind of makes you think, when Taylor Swift was mentioned in this beef, was it because they knew the inside connection that they had with one of her producers?
They better not.
I mean, this guy
bodies.
is working with Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter. His beats are probably heard all over the radio, all over the Billboard, the top 100. But who knows? I'm just guessing here. I know Taylor Swift was brought up for multiple reasons. But
yo, Raven, apparently they beefing. Apparently they beefing. Quickie, don't say it like that. Quickie, don't say it like that. Brandy is a better singer than Beyonce. Easily. Don't come around here with no nothing, all right?
Could this be one of them? Y'all could tell me in the comments. The trio spent years toiling on what Soundwave estimates was somewhere between 80 and 100 songs, later pared down to the dozen that made GNX. They would snag batches of time in the studio and created their own weird little secret society, recalls Antonov, not in pursuit of a specific sound, but seeing where the process took them. The beginning of it was throwing paint on the wall, says Soundwave, and it started to form this massive funky West groove that we love because Kendrick and I are from Compton. And in that, I started to realize the people who we should bring in to push it even further, like the Mustards, the Jacks. I was very fortunate to have these friends who are very talented to push it to the next level. 80 to 100 songs. Kendrick was cooking 80 to 100 songs since 2022. Both of these guys there to back him up by his side. Creative geniuses, top of the best, top, prime. You know what I mean?
Yo, that's some Chris Brown level shit right there. Yeah, that's some Chris Brown level shit right there. Because yeah, if y'all know Chris and how he set up his catalog, especially back in the day, dude had too many songs on one project, bro. Too many. So going from like what? From 45 to 30 to 25. You got too much on one project. Too much. Boy keeps saying hot take. Say hot take one more time. God damn. I honestly don't know if I agree. That's y'all. That's y'all. If y'all hear Brandy today and you hear Beyonce today, somebody is night and somebody is day. That's all I'm saying.
Like prime time, basically, you got the best producers that you could look for in pop, in rap, in West Coast sound. And you got together and they made GNX. A secret little world, bro. They wanted to make sure that nobody knew this album existed. And they were successful in doing that because, like I said, nobody knew about this album until it actually dropped. And it dropped instantaneously and spontaneously, bro. Pretty crazy. And finally narrowing it down to the 12 tracks that we see on GNX. I wonder, what are the dates and times of all of these records?
Facts.
And what songs were made in 2022? When Kendrick was immediately done with Mr. Morale, was he already making songs like this? But to think about it, this album comes out 2 whole years later. It's crazy how they kept it a secret for that long. Amid the swaths of ideas that Mustard would text Lamar directly were 2 instrumentals combined to make TV Off, which went viral on the back of Lamar screaming Mustard's name in the beat switch. Mustard recalls creating the first half of the song in the same month that he produced Not Like Us, and he worked on the second part as
really? Let me hear that again, sir, please.
As an idea for his own album. As with Not Like Us, he heard the completed TV Off for the first time along with the rest of the world. I never asked Jack or Wave who put those 2 beats together, or Kendrick. He says, Soundwave says it's Lamar's idea. I care, but I don't care. I was just like, that was great. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Not Like Us was created the same time that TV Off was created. He made
Not Like Us was created at the same time TV Off was created, bro. That's crazy. Let me find out. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Let me find out. Forget everybody. Let me find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Are you sick? You better dance on them bodies. I need that song Bodies, bro.
Made the beat for 2 of those songs in the same month while working on half of the song for his own album. Half of the beat for TV Off was for him personally. So the date and time for this one is definitely around the birth of Not Like Us, which would be in 2024. What other songs came around that time or what came before that? I think it's interesting, too, how Mustard didn't...
Yo, Quickie, shut the hell up. Dude talking about this MF was comfortable during the battle? Yo, you make me sick, bro.
Even know that they were going to use the beat. It feels like these changes were spontaneous, instant, maybe even on the fly if Mustard didn't know, especially if they were taking his own beat, too. That's pretty crazy. It shows that this album kept changing and moving. The parts were moving till the day that it dropped. The GNX magic happened in the studios where Lamar, Antonov, and Soundwave collaborated, particularly for Luther, one of the biggest hits of 2025. The record is built around a sample of Luther Vandross and Cheryl Lynn in 1982's rendition of If This World Were Mine, a song that Lamar and Soundwave had wanted to flip since 2017's Stems.
What?
Luther came together.
They've been wanting to do that since 2007. Man, yo, listen, artists. If there's an artist out there, you listening to this live stream, yo, let me tell y'all this right now, bro. Let me tell y'all this right now. If you got a good idea, but you just can't get it done right now, for the love of God, keep it in your back pocket, because you never know what's going to pop. You never know what's going to pop. Originally, everybody was saying, oh, Squabble Up is that one. And then Luther is right after Squabble Up. As soon as everybody heard, if this world were mine, it was over. It was over. That was the song. Everybody assumed Squabble Up because we got the teaser. Think about it. We got the teaser for the Not Like Us music video at the beginning. And everybody thought, oh, what the hell was that? Now that we got it and we had it, it was great. And then we heard Luther. Yo, what the fuck? Yo, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. If you got that one song that you know is going to work, but you just can't get it done right now, keep it in a vault, keep it in a folder, keep it somewhere where you can access it years later. Please. Bruh.
As something of a groupthink exercise, producer Rosilia sent a pack of beats, mine for a kick and snare. Soundwave chopped up the sample. M-Tech replayed chords on the piano. Ink came up with the melodies for SZA's part. It was a spiritual experience at Soundwave because of how everybody just fell in. Everything we added was just like the perfect missing piece to that record. They've been wanting to make Luther since the damn album. They've been wanting to flip that record since 2017, bro, almost a decade ago. Antonov, for his part, densely laid in bits of guitar and mellotron to build out the world of Luther. If you really listen to the record, obviously Kendrick and SZA are right there, and the beats right there, and the melody, he says, but there's a lot of stuff dancing around, like in between them. I wanted to go overboard with the presentation of how special it could be. I ended up sitting alone for a really long time, carving out all of these little spaces. The meticulous nature of GNX only intensified as the record sped toward completion. Antonov recalls working on final mixes as late as 4 a.m, just hours before the album's release. Its impact was instantly tangible. Luther held court atop the Billboard Hot 100 for 13 weeks straight, while not.
Hold on. Let me back this up a little bit because I've been thinking about something. Hold on, I've been thinking about something. What's good, Instigator GH? How you feeling? Welcome to the channel. I've been thinking about something. So I remember when GNX first dropped, a month went by or a month and a half went by, and then the conversation of the album layout was a little conversation on like Reddit or certain podcasts and everything, right? So that made me think because so one thing that I've noticed from some fans out there is that if there's an album that's good, but the layout is bad, a lot of people are actually going to take the album and they're going to rearrange it and let people download it and be like, oh, this is how the album is supposed to be. This is how the album should sound. Somebody made that for GNX, and I'm not going to lie, it was good, but now I'm sitting here and thinking about, and then they're talking about how Luther was a song they've been working on since 2017. That made me think, because you had Whacked Out Murals, you had Squabble Up, and you had Luther. Those are the first 3 songs. Usually when you go through an album, it's the first 3 songs that's going to let you know if this album's going to be good or not. And from the layout that I've seen, and then from the layout that I remember from the GNX album, it made me sit here and think, I'm like, maybe that's how they wanted to layer it out. Maybe they wanted to layer it out with certain songs to be the hit songs at this time in the album. I haven't really thought of it that way, because I'm assuming oh, how is it going to sound sonically? Because that's how a lot of people do it, unless they're doing it in a certain way to promote the hit and then have everything else under it in its own order. So I was just thinking about that. That's so crazy. So what if they layered it in a way so it's like, yo, they gotta hear Luther after Squabble Up? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I never even thought of it that way. That's wild.
Album. They've been wanting to flip that record since 2017, bro, almost a decade ago. Antonov, for his part, densely laid in bits of guitar and mellotron to build out the world of Luther. If you really listen to the record, obviously Kendrick and SZA are right there, and the beats right there, and the melody, he says, but there's a lot of stuff dancing around, like in between them. I wanted to go overboard with the presentation of how special it could be. I ended up sitting alone for a really long time, carving out all of these little spaces. The meticulous nature of GNX only intensified as the record sped toward completion. Antonov recalls working on final mixes as late as 4 a.m, just hours before the album's release. Its impact was instantly tangible. Luther held court atop the Billboard Hot 100 for 13 weeks straight. Wild Not Like Us picked up Grammys for Song and Record of the Year. But for producers who helped bring GNX to life, it signified that taking risks sonically and creatively was the only path forward. Again, another statement that proves that they were working on this album to the very last minute. It basically shows you there's no boundary, says Soundwave. We hate to just keep doing the same thing over and over. It's something we kind of thrive off of. Just reinventing yourself, do stuff that makes it exciting. And the people who supported you will be excited with you. I kid you not, yesterday there was a 60-year-old woman driving in the street rapping a GNX song word for word. Just to see that, my home is still playing it as if it just came out. That's special. And yes, it very is special indeed, especially because this album is headed to the Grammys and it might win a Grammy. Without a doubt, I think and I believe that Soundwave is already a Grammy winner. Antonov, most likely. We'll see how this goes. Mustard, we'll see how this goes. There's been a lot of Grammy talk, and I wouldn't doubt for a second that Kendrick Lamar, GNX, will win a Grammy, at least for Luther, if not the album, maybe for TV Off also, which all have interesting stories. I think those were the most detailed stories in regards to the tracks that they had talked about. But these gentlemen right here have really been working close with Kendrick Lamar, have really been trying to make a mark with this album. I think they really did well. And it shows, the effort shows, the amount of times that this had stayed on the Billboard shows. And it's crazy to think that they were working on this album immediately after Mr. Morale. Now, for what it's worth, I do think that they were working on this album constantly. Things were changing constantly. Things would happen. The beef would happen. Or maybe something random in their lives could have happened that influenced them to make a change in the records that they were working on. 80 to 100 songs. But only imagine if we're going to get more songs on another album from those songs. You have 80 to 100 songs. We only got 12. How many more songs can we get possibly on an album that could come out? That's what I'm most interested in too. Obviously, I'm waiting to see if he's going to drop anything else. But knowing that he has over 80 to 100, think about it. We were talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. This guy got 100 rounds, bro. Y'all tell me how you feel about this and get back to me, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video, man. Peace. Keep it alleged.
Yo, it's so crazy that they were working on the album all night, the last night, 4 hours before it was going to drop. Yo, they literally said, we cannot hold on to this. We have to give it to the people now. Yo, just think about that and then think about what albums followed after GNX. Okay, when we saw the clips drop, Let God Sort Them Out. Look at how authenticity just re-entered the chat again. Just think about that for a second. That's what I like. I like that. My mind, when it comes to music, I love a plethora of different sounds. But when I see people literally and actually attempt to make something that's quality, that gravitates more to me because I care about that the most. It's cool that you got to hit here and you got to hit here and you didn't really need to do much to get that hit to move. That's cool. But when you actually try and you put something together that's just different from everybody else, yeah, you got it, bruh. Yo, it's not easy to make a song like Luther. It's not easy to make a song like that. That's hard to do. That's not an easy task. It took them like what? How many years? 8 years? 8 years? Since 2017 till 2020, well, 7 years. 2024 to make that happen? And then when they were done mixing, they said upload. They went to the respective platform and said, we're ready to drop. Here's the project. Boom. Just think about that for a second. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. What's good, Josh? How you feeling? This is why I like hearing about things like this. Because things like that should help inspire other artists to actually do something. The reason why music has been trash is because a lot of people haven't been doing anything in the studio. Think about that for a second. Just think about that. Imagine a lot of studio sessions that you see, whether if you've caught somebody's live or you're actually been in studio sessions. They're not doing a lot of shit in the studio sessions, bro. To keep it tall with you. You got to put in that work, especially now more than ever, especially when we have AI music. Just think about that. AI music, all you got to do is type in some prompts. Type in what you want it to sound like. And then you're going to get a list of songs that sound like what you were prompting it to do. And now you got like 5 or 4 different songs all made to what you typed out, and then you get to select and choose what you want. How long does it take to do that? Because as far as I see, it don't even take an hour. It don't even take 30 minutes. Bruh. Y'all remember when we were talking about Zanaya Monet and girl typed in all that for the prompt and what she was looking for and how fast she got music? And then she can take all that and say, I want to make an album. Like, are you serious? Y'all want to be lazy when we got AI music? Are you kidding me right now? If y'all don't lock in, everybody needs to lock in. It's no more games no more. Y'all had y'all fun. Everybody need to lock in right now. This is crazy. What's good, Miss Nunu? How you feeling? Luther's run on the charts, well deserved. That's a fact. An absolute fact. But keep in mind with the song Luther, Billboard changed the rules to get Luther out of here. Think about that. That goes back to the conversation about how easy it is for some of these labels to get some songs out of here just by typing out some new rules. Just think about that. They're making it harder for artists to have that longevity on the charts. That's what matters right now. Being on the chart, that's step one. That's not, honestly, that's the what's it called? The prologue? That's the prologue right there. That's a requirement. How long you stay on them charts is the real test of time. How well the song has that longevity, you know? Bruh, they got Luther out of here. We didn't. We were still listening. We were keeping it there. They got it out of here. Never forget that. What's good, Josh? Josh, oh shoot, Josh, oh shoot. Dog, what's good, bro? Yo, it's been a minute. But yo, literally just think about that for a second, bruh. Crazy. Absolutely mental. So, that makes me love the album way more now. Way more because of how you hear about the process. Once upon a time, when I used to listen to The Breakfast Club, that was the reason why I listened to The Breakfast Club. The articles that you can get with these individuals, The Breakfast Club was doing the interviews with these individuals. And you would hear how the process would go for an album behind the scenes from the source. And that's what made me like The Breakfast Club, because I can get that information of how some of these things go down. Some of the songs that didn't make it, some of the songs that didn't work, some of the songs that just you had to make singles. Like, I like hearing that because that will give me ideas to share with other people around here. So people can build upon their own craft with unique and different ideas from what they hear from around the world. That was amazing to hear.